Hello, welcome to Creations with X. I'm X, and today I will be filming a YouTube tutorial about how to single crochet. So, for beginners, it's best to use a lighter colored yarn, just so you can see your stitches, and a fairly large hook. Not too big, not too small. I'd say around maybe 5 millimeters. So, you're going to take your yarn, you're going to get a strand of it, just like so. Well, then you're going to form a slip knot. So, to form a slip knot, you kind of want to make your yarn look like this. So you see how it's looped? Then you are going to take this strand of yarn connecting to the ball or whatever you're working from, and you're going to put it behind and just pull it through the loop like so. Make it a bit tight. Then you're going to take your yarn, your loop, and you want to make sure that the yarn is coming from the front of the loop, so like this, the front of your hook. You're going to put it on your hook and tighten it, just like so. Now, you're going to want to start a chain. You're going to want to make a chain that you can single crochet into. So what you're going to do for the chain is you're going to take your yarn and your hook, and you're going to kind of go under it with your hook the yarn, and then pull through that loop, making sure you keep a loop on your hook. That's one chain. You're going to repeat this process, and now you have two. And a third. So, now what you're going to do is you're going to keep making chains until you have reached a desired length for your piece, or whatever you're doing. There are also multiple different ways to hold the hook. There are at least two. You can hold it like this, which is known as the pencil grip, or the fork, or this is known as the fork grip and pencil grip. This is known as the knife grip. I personally find this one a bit easier to control. And then, okay, so we have a good sizable chain right here. Again, for beginners, I would just recommend using a lighter color so it's easier to see all of your stitches. You don't want to also use like a plain blank yarn, just like this. Don't use fancy yarn or fuzzy yarn. That will come in time and with experience. So, you see how we have all these chains here? Well, we're going to single crochet into them. So, you're going to take your hook and your yarn, and you're going to take your hook, and you're going to skipping this first chain here. You don't want to go into the first chain because you're just coming out of it, because you just came out of this here. So going back into it would just be kind of undoing a stitch. So you're going to go to this chain right here. You're going to insert your hook into it, hook the yarn, pull through, and then hook the yarn again, and pull through those two loops. Now, there are multiple different ways to crochet into this chain. Some people like to do the first loop only, like I just demonstrated. So like this. Some people like to go into two loops like this. Can be a bit more secure that way. I personally prefer that method. And some people don't do that at all, and instead flip the chain going into the back part of the chain right here. So it kind of leaves like a 2 on the bottom. Quite neat and tidy, but I prefer going into it like this. Just take it easy and try not to confuse yourself. Only stick with one method for now. Just make sure you can identify the stitches. But you want to go into the two chains, or into the chain, to each stitch, and then pull a loop through, then pull through 2. I'll go a bit slower so you can maybe more clearly see. So you want to go into here, kind of like in between the V. You want to grab the yarn and then slowly pull it up and through, just like so. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to, again, grab the yarn, pull through both at once. And you're going to keep doing this. And when you get to the end of the row, or when I get to the end of the row, I will demonstrate how to do a turning technique. But yeah, just keep watching. It's really quite easy once you get the hang of it. You just got to make sure you don't lose track of where the stitches are. Also, one good thing about crochet is that if you ever make a mistake, you can just take your hook out of the loop and just grab the yarn and you can just pull it and it comes right undone. Unless you made a knot or something, then it wouldn't. But most mistakes can be undone by simply pulling the yarn. That way it's fairly easy that way. Also takes off the pressure. Also some of the pressure. But yeah. Okay. We are almost there. And done. Okay, so you see, now we've reached the end of our chain. Stitches are nice and neat. I forget how many I did exactly, but that's fine, it doesn't matter for this. So now you're going to turn the work. After you turn, you're going to be working into these stitches now that you just made. So after turning, you are going to take your hook and just make a singular chain right here into that loop. Now there are 2 ways we can go about this. One, we can single crochet into this first stitch, this one right here. Or we can go into the other stitch right beyond that. So instead of going into this stitch here, we skip and go to the next one. And this will be... So this is for something that can trip some people up. So at the end of a round or row, you're always going to turn. You're always going to turn your work. So when you get to the end of this row, you're going to, the one we're on now, you're going to turn your work and work back. Now when you get to the end of this row right here, when you get to the other round working this side, you'd have a bit of a issue, so to speak. So like, you could crochet into the last stitch, like, because for crochet, when you have a chain at the end and you don't work into that, it can leave little weird bumps at the edge. Now this isn't as prominent in single crochet as it is in some other types of stitches, using some other different stitches, but it can still make your work look a bit odd. So what some people do is instead of going into the first stitch, they'll skip it and go into the second one and then work into the chain on their way back, just to make it all neat. I'm just going to do a couple more repeats, going to get some more yarn. And just keep going in and crocheting. And remember, get these two. So when you're going into another row, you're going to want to go under the 2 V's. Just like that. Then hooking, pull 2, pull through. And another thing that might happen, like if you only get, like make sure you want to get 2 and not just 1. Those are different kinds of stitches for, they're called a front post and back post, or like front post and back post. So accidentally going in there is, it'll make your work look different. But for, oh, and another thing, just when you're going in, and if you only accidentally get 1 loop, if your work looks like this, that means you already pulled the yarn through the first loop, and you can just pull it through the second one. No need to do this, because that's a bit too tall there. That's not a single crochet. And turning is the same for all future rounds. Just make sure you leave one. Just remember, when you first start single crocheting, you always want, and you finish the chain, you always want to have 1 single crochet at the end. So you want to leave it because you don't want to crochet into the same stitch. Gives it the proper height. So now we're going to turn it, chain 1, skip this one, and go into this one. Alright, and that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your crocheting journey.